while the entity is preparing to strengthen its shared development programs for the benefit of the peoples. The Secretary stressed that the alliance was born to generate a true cohesion of nations, emphasizing that ALBA is synonymous of union. In turn, the Executive Secretary of the organization pointed out that ALBA has made great contributions for its member nations, where it seeks to promote the development of a multipolar and pluricentric world. Jorge Arriaza also emphasized that ALBA is one of the few integration mechanisms that remain in force, asserting that it is not only a mechanism that exists in theory, but has also a great achievements and agreements throughout its 20 years of existence. And on December 17, 1830, the great liberator of our America, Simón Bolívar, passed away at the age of 47. Today, people across the continent pay homage to a man that changed the course of this territory forever. To better understand its present relevance to Latin America and the Caribbean, our colleague Garfield Burford prepared the following material.
El Libertador, or the Liberator, has towered large over the movement for freedom and self-determination in Latin America and the Caribbean for over 2 centuries. The Liberator died on this date in 1830 at the age of 47. However, his legacy among the pantheon of history's great liberators had already been secured. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro Moros praised Bolivar's leadership of the independence movement during a recent event.
Luego, en el año 99, el comandante Chávez.
Then, in 1999, Commander Chavez came to this same hall. The Ayacucho Hall it is called. In commemoration of the great battle that freed all South America, which we commemorated last Monday, the 200th anniversary of the Great Battle of Ayacucho, that ended the colonial imperial domination of Spain over all South America.
Imperial colonial de España sobre todo Suramérica.
Bolivar was a soldier and statesman whose early life had positioned him to rebel against Spanish rule in the Americas. His inspiring call to action on freedom from Spanish rule was contained in the Cartagena Manifesto and the letter from Jamaica. Bolivar did not only encourage rebellion against Spanish rule across the region, but led military expeditions against the Spaniards himself. He liberated Venezuela, the areas now occupied by Colombia, Panama, and Ecuador. He also freed Peru and Bolivia, which now bears his name. Bolivar's separate sojourns to Haiti and Jamaica also meant the Caribbean was also a crucial region in his push for freedom and self-determination. The late Hugo Chavez summoned that same spirit of Latin American and Caribbean integration as he spoke in Havana in 1994.
This is a project that we already put in practice in Venezuela under the name of Simón Bolívar National Project, but with our arms wide open to the rest of the Latin American and Caribbean continent.
Some 13 years later, then President Chavez continued to emphasize the importance of this bond between Latin America and the Caribbean.
La Carta de Jamaica bien pudiéramos tomarla de estos pueblos.
And we could easily consider the letter of Jamaica like the birth letter, the constitution letter of the project of independence, the project of liberation of our peoples.
Most historical records indicate Simón Bolívar died from tuberculosis. His remains were exhumed in 2010, but scientists were unable to conclusively determine the cause of his death. Of one thing, though, there can be no doubt. His legacy lives on, providing echoes of inspiration for the indomitable human spirit. From Caracas, I'm Garfield Burford for teleSUR.
And the Mayan train, the emblematic work of former President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has been in operation for a year, and the current President Claudia Sheinbaum highlighted its value beyond transportation. Let's see.
The Mexican president showed on this map how the Mayan train was completed. After the inauguration of Sections 6 and 7 of this flagship project of the so-called Fourth Transformation of Mexico's public life.
The train is the recognition of the Mayan culture. This idea that the Spaniards arrived and brought civilization is totally erroneous and wrong, and the only thing it leads to is to give permanence to the discrimination that came with the colony.
As of last August, 340,000 passengers had used this flagship facility. A few hours before its first anniversary, it was reported that the figure reached more than 600,000, 20% of the estimated goal of 3 million people.
This dynamic of linkage with our airports, with the resorts that are in our state, which have a lot to offer in terms of tourism, is already beginning to be generated.
The mine train created 44,000 direct jobs and 18,000 indirect jobs, a figure that will increase with the startup of the mine hotels along the route.
The mine train also means social justice, because it provides welfare and development with justice for the communities and peoples of southeastern Mexico.
The work, which took 4 years, has as one of its objectives to bring welfare to the native communities and to rescue the archaeological pieces found during construction.
And today, the 1,554 kilometers of railroads, social justice, and narrowing the inequality gaps have been achieved.
The mine train is consolidating its position as an important tourist link through vacation packages, in spite of the criticisms made by some people.
There's no place here to have a sandwich or a coffee, nothing.
Environmental groups have denounced the environmental damage caused by the project, although according to the government, 500 million trees have been reforested to repair the environmental damage.
In Venezuela, the executive secretary of ALBA TCP reaffirmed